1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The first thing that we're going to do with Seven Nation Army is take a look at the melodies and let me explain them just a little bit. There are only 3 different melodies that you need to know how to play to be able to do this with the rhythm guitar. This is what the first melody looks like in single note form, and this is what the second melody looks like, and this is what the third melody looks like. With the first melody and the second melody, you can see that there is a little 3 over some of the notes. This is called a hemiola. This is when we put 3 beats over 2 in music. Now, this is really quite difficult to comprehend academically and to figure out and calculate down to the exact eighth note of what each quarter note should be worth. So we're not going to worry about doing that at all. We're just going to play these melodies along with the metronome, hear them, and be able to reproduce them. Even though we don't know what a hemiola really is musically yet as a beginner musicians, we can still play them even though we can't calculate them just yet. We're going to play all of these melodies at first with just our first finger so that we are getting ready to play power chords later by moving around on the instrument with just our first finger the entire time. Later on in the video, I will show you how to play power chords, and I will show you how to play the sort of more crunchy power chords that I use in this arrangement. So this is what the first melody looks like. We're going to play it along with the metronome at 80 beats per minute. I have slowed it down to make it easier for you to play along at home. If you need to, you can use YouTube to slow this down even further. If you think it's too slow for you and you want to speed it up to make it a little bit more exciting, I suggest speeding it up. But that's only if you can play it consistently. Remember, this tune is somewhere in the neighborhood of 3.5 to 4 minutes long. So you need to be able to play this melodic motive for a very long time consistently without losing focus and without missing beats. I will play it 4 times on the metronome at 80 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is what the second melody looks like. We're going to play it 4 times at 80 beats per minute using our first finger only. Remember, you need to be able to do this consistently for a lengthy amount of time at home with the metronome to be able to get the skills necessary to play with other people and maintain good, consistent rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what the final little motive looks like. It's actually really easy to do on the guitar. I'm going to be using all downstrokes with this particular motive, even though it can be down ups. I'm going to use all downs in preparation for the actual guitar part that we use in this arrangement. So let's do it at 80 beats per minute 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's put the first little phrase and the second little phrase together and play them back to back on the metronome at 80 beats per minute 4 times. You need to be able to do this at home consistently more than 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to add this motive back to the other two. Now when you come from this A, or the 5 on the 6th string, up to the E, or 7 on the 5th string, that can be the most challenging aspect of this piece of music for the rhythm guitar and for the bass guitar. So making sure that you can make that jump consistently and evenly is very important. You might just have to practice this over and over until it's comfortable to be able to put these together. It's really up to where you're at and your skill level right now on the guitar. Here we go, putting all of these ideas together 4 times at 80 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time. Alright, so let's move on to playing these melodies and this exercise with power chords. So there's 2 different ways to play the power chords as far as I'm concerned for this tune. The first way, that's the most common, is just playing your normal power chord shape, where you have your first finger like on the 7th fret, and then your 3rd finger come up on the 9th, and your pinky will come up on the 9th on the 3rd string. So this shape through the entire tune, and same shape here, and then jumping back. That jump is where most students have trouble, coming from this A back to the E. Now the power chord that I'm using in this arrangement actually bars the 6th string and the 5th string together, so that you get both of those sounding together. That's the interval of a 4th. You also have the same interval, but now on the 4th string and the 3rd. So all of those notes together create a nice big sounding beefy type chord. I prefer this when I'm playing this particular tune, and I used it in this arrangement. So this can be a little bit harder to play than just the typical power chord. Whichever one you're ready to play is the one that you should play. If you're having trouble with this one, then just try the regular power chord until you can get used to barring all of those notes. Once you can bar them all, then I would suggest using it, because it is a great sounding chord. So I'm going to play the same exercises we did with 1 finger at a time. I'm going to do with the more advanced power chord at 80 beats per minute, 4 times for each little melody or exercise that we create with the melody. So here is exercise 1 at 80 beats per minute, 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the second melody at 80 beats per minute on the metronome 4 times. Be sure to get it more than 4 and get it comfortable before moving on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next little motive is actually just a regular little power chord here on G and A. So we'll play this 4 times and then we'll add them all together into one exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let's add all of these melodies together as one little exercise, playing it 4 times back to back. Now remember, this movement from this A chord up to this one is probably going to give you the most trouble. So if you need to practice that, or going from here to this power chord without that low end note being barred, just practice that over and over until you can do it really comfortably and really fast. Once you get that, then you'll be ready for this exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so the next most logical question to ask is, how do I put all of this together? The answer to that, to me, is that you memorize the material that we just went over and then apply it to the recording, whether it be to the arrangement that I did that's attached to this video, or actually going and playing along with the white stripes. Trying to have some sheet music in front of you that's going to guide you through this piece of music is just not practical when we're only dealing with a short amount of melodic material. So memorize the material, learn to play along with the recording. You'll know when to change because you'll hear it coming. Remember, the most important thing is to have fun. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.